Hey friends, so I wanted to talk with you about something today, and that is I am disabled. And I want you to think about how you reacted when I just said that. Where you're like, no, you're not. You're not disabled. You're differently abled. Or maybe you have a diffability, right? We like to think of those things because they make us feel maybe less uncomfortable. But why do we feel uncomfortable in the first place identifying as a disabled person? And I bring this up today because today is International Day of Persons with Disability. And it just got me thinking about this and why we're resistant to that word. Why do we feel afraid or embarrassed and we don't want to use that word? We'd rather make up words rather than use that word. I want to read this. This is today, the International Day of Persons with Disabilities is a day to promote an understanding of disability issues and mobilize support for the dignity, rights, and well-being of persons with disabilities. It also seeks to increase awareness of gains to be derived from the integration of persons with disabilities in every aspect of political, social, economic, and cultural life. And I will be honest, even when I say that I'm disabled, I bristle against it because I was raised in a way that said, no, you're not disabled. Because, why is that? Why do we think that? It's because of how we define it, what we think of when we think of disability. We think about weakness, we think about frailty, we think about being separate, being left out. And that's what I want to do today is I want to challenge that perception of disability because I think it changes everything. Now, first and foremost, people with disabilities are just people, like everyone else. When I speak at schools, I talk about how, however somebody looks, they're just a person, right? We can ask them the same questions to get to know them as we would ask anybody else. We can incorporate them just like we would anybody else. And so just right off the bat, people with disabilities are just people too. They're not any better or any worse. They're not any more pathetic or any more heroic. We're just people. And I think that's an important thing to remember. That said, I also think for me personally, I'm proud to be identified with a group of people that I view as incredibly strong. There are heroes with disabilities, people who paved the way for me to live my life the way that I'm living it now. And if you haven't seen the movie Crip Camp, it's a documentary and it is incredible. I cried like 10 times during it because it shows the struggle that these people went through so that I can cry right now, that I have rights the same as anyone else. I deserve to live a life that is equal to anybody else, people who don't have physical or mental disabilities, and what they went through to make that happen. People like Judith Heumann and James Lebrecht, who I desperately hope to meet someday because they, to me, are true heroes. What they did means the world to me personally, and to anyone who is disabled in any way. They changed the world for us. That's a big deal. Now, are there people who have much more limiting disabilities than I do, physically, mentally? They have greater challenges on a daily basis than I do. Absolutely. But that doesn't make me any less disabled. It doesn't make them any more disabled. Just disabled, right? And there are varying degrees of that throughout it. But I think what we tend to do is we try to make ourselves less uncomfortable. And we say things like, the greatest disability is in your mind, not in your body. And that's just, it's patently untrue for millions of people. It makes us maybe feel good to share a meme to say, hey, get your butt off the couch. You know, it's just in your head. It's not in, you know, that's true. But for someone whose mind works and their body doesn't follow suit, that's not true. It isn't true for so many. And so I would beg you, ask you to try to change that perception. Try to sit in whatever is making you uncomfortable and say, why does this make me uncomfortable? Why am I uncomfortable by this? Is it because I have this image of what it means that doesn't match reality? And if that's true, how can you change that? Again, I would suggest watch Crip Camp and start there. But also don't don't be embarrassed. You know, if you are a person with a disability, or you're a parent and you don't want your child to be lumped in with this, you know, a group of people that we perceive to be as weak. Well, you're not weak, you're strong. Yeah, you can be disabled and strong. You can be disabled and smart. You can be disabled and determined. All of those things. Disabled does not exclude you from those things. Man, this is harder than I thought. If you're a parent, please change that thinking. It doesn't make your child less than. They're equal to. And they're just a kid. They're just a person, just like me, just like anybody, right? And so I want to challenge you today on International Persons with Disabilities Day to think about, what is your perception of a person with a disability? In your mind, are they weak? Are they frail? Are they unable to do things other people can? And I would challenge you to change that. Try to change that. If you want to use me as an example, great. Do that. But I'm just a person, just like anybody else. I'm no better, no worse, just a person. And so as you think about that today, challenge yourself to have a more accurate perception of people with disabilities. And if you have one, hey, today's our day. You deserve it. We all deserve it. And I'm so grateful for those who came before me, who fought for my rights in this country, especially in America. So that's where I'm at. So anyway, I was trying to write something about this, and I obviously I'm 7 minutes in, and so I couldn't do that. So hopefully you took some time to view this, and I'm really grateful that you did. Let me know what you think, and do something good today, okay? I appreciate you guys so much. All right, that's it. Bye.